Hey guys, and welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today environmental tech is going to be something that we're going to be getting lasery with. So I hope you guys are ready. So jumping right in, if you guys did miss the live stream, I want to kind of go over some of the stuff that we did. Of course, I am working on like 2 side projects. I'm working on side projects that are related to that, but we're also going to kind of merge them a little bit. So I want to show you some of the stuff that we did during the live stream. For one, as you can see, I have a wireless crafting grid right here, but I can actually access it from inside my inventory without it needing to be in my hotbar. To do that, I'm using the F key. You can go into your controls and just search crafting grid, and you can see open wireless crafting grid right here. I have it set to F. Now there is open wireless crafting monitor. We don't want to do that. We want to open the grid. So make sure you set it to that, and then also remove F from any other key that is currently using it. Of course, the default key, I believe, is the one that allows you to swap items between your main and offhand. So that's a key that I usually go with F. I just find F to be more comfortable. So I have the crafting grid in here. That is really nice, right? Really convenient. But let's go over some of the stuff that we ended up doing. Right now, this is our main way of teleporting from place to place. It is from wastestones. I want to try something cooler today. So right here is Chosen's Paradise. At least that's what Stream decided to call it. And this is the area that I said we were going to be working on. It's in the middle of the Dead Sea, and we're working towards making this look like a paradise, like a lush paradise, but it's in the Dead Sea. And as you can see, the water is still this color. I wish I could have like different color water, but at the moment, this is what we have. And I think we're going to add some lights and stuff to this. It almost looks kind of neat rolling in like that. But if we take a look at the surrounding areas, yeah, this thing is just a sore thumb. It just sticks out, right? But I love it. I love this. And I have some of these rocks down here I'm decorating, but I have this right here. I noticed it kind of looks like it's like reaching in, right? Or like flowing in. And what I want to do is I think I want to leave these sort of like they are. Like where they look like they're reaching in. But the other ones, the other like the other structures that are stuck to the ground, I don't even know what you would call these. Like I would say stalactites, but or stalagmites, because the mites are the ones that are on the ground. Like tights usually would be on the top, but anyways, that's some other nerdy stuff. But yeah, I wanted to decorate these. We traveled way out to get to this rainbow birch biome, and these are rainbow leaves. Now these leaves, I guess, change color depending on their location in the world, because as you can see over here, they're like more blue and purple. Over here, they're more pink colored. So pretty cool. It's a pretty cool biome. I actually want to show you what that biome looks like. We can go to rainbow what? This is the biome, and you can see how far we went out. It's over 10,000 blocks out, but this is how cool this looks. Even on the mini map, it looks super cool. And apparently this biome is really rare. It's a very rare biome to find, but it is called the Rainbow Hills, and there's supposed to be a rainbow beach as well. But yeah, this place is super, super, super cool. Now, I want to be able to get to this place a little bit easier. I'm thinking about taking a chunk out of one of these walls, and it's got to be sort of in the center. And I'm sort of thinking this wall is probably going to be the best place for this. And what I need to do is I need to hollow out an area, right? That needs to be 3 in the center. So I need a 5x5 structure that needs to be sort of hollowed out like this. And it also needs to be 3 deep, because today we're going to be playing around with a little bit of a different mod called the Portality mod. I think it's called the Portality. Yeah, Portality mod. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's a really neat, it reminds me of the Draconic portals, I think, a little bit, the way you could set up Draconic portals and just teleport directly to a location. But that's sort of what we're going to be doing here. It needs to be 3 deep. So what I want to do is I think leave enough space here for the wall, and then have the frame, and then have it 3 back from the first frame. So sort of the way you're seeing it right here. Because if we go too far, things are going to start breaking on us. And of course, I want it to be floor height, so that way we can walk, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and hollow this out. And then we're going to craft all the stuff that we need to link these 2 areas. So let me show you the other area that I want to link to. If we go back to our home base, the area where we got all of our mobs that we're going to be collecting over time, Right here is where I've already set up the area for this. You can see it's going to be 3 deep. So let's go ahead and craft some of the stuff for this portal frame. This we're going to need quite a bit of, but we only need 2 controllers, I believe, for the travel between these 2 distances. And we're also going to need some points to be able to power everything. So what you want to do is build the portal very similar to this. So you can see right here, we have a 3 wide space. Down here is our single controller. You just want that in the front, and then you need to take everything back this many blocks. And then you have the portal frame. As soon as we fill this in, there we go. We get this sort of like animation going on. And then right here, we can call for portals. So we're going to go over this here in a minute. But at the moment, like we need to change the portal name. Let's set this to home. And we can confirm that's going to be this portal. We can make them private. We can change the color apparently to match like whatever surrounding we want. So if we want this to blend more in with this area, I mean, we could probably make it gray. We can make it whatever color we want, right? So pretty cool. Now we do need to make another one, and we also need to give this one power. Of course, the best way to give this one power is to make a point. I don't know if I have any points just laying around. Oh, I do have. Perfect. I have 2 points literally just laying around. Nice. And they're already configured. So I just place it down here, and you can see this is going to get power. Now we need to build one just like this over at our other base. So same as the other one, if you didn't already kind of get how that was set up, you can see I have 3 blocks here. I'm going to place this on the 3rd block, and then we're just going to build around it. Like literally build around it, leaving that 3 block hollow space in the center, 3 by 3 hollow space. Look at that. It is super simple to build this actually. And it's pretty cheap. The blocks required, I mean, you're going to need smooth stone and a little bit of quartz, and boom. Look at that. Another area set up. And of course down here, we need to give it a little bit of power, and we're good to go. And I guess we can name this the same as what we have this named. Why not? Since chat sort of named it. Let's set this up. Let's rename this. There we go. Confirm. Now, going back to the portal part, let's make this one sort of pink colored like everything else. Kind of cool looking. So just like everywhere else, let's go ahead and call a portal, and we can call it to home and dial. Now this portal is dialed to the home portal, the other portal. So we go through, it like shoots us into the portal. Now this one should be linked to paradise. And so when we go into this, of course I'm going to fill in this area. It teleports us over here. How cool is that? That makes that so much easier. We can of course fly through it. Oh wow. Okay, yeah, I really like this. So as I was working on building things, I did realize there were some materials that I just haven't seen yet. And one of them was for this Larium lantern right here. This thing right here, it requires the Therium crystal. And I haven't seen any Therium crystal. And people have, some people were in chat said they had come across it in the end. But I'm also noticing there's some other blocks here that may not be just in the end. Like this looks like a block that would be in the end. This nightshade. I haven't seen any of these blocks. And there's some other ones that would seem like they would be inside of the nether. So I might have to give this a look, and we might have to do some adventuring in the end and see if we can come across any of these biomes. Speaking of new biomes, this was added by Quark. This is actually really cool. I kind of want to demonstrate this a little bit and show you what this is actually used for. So this, man, is it malachite? If you collect this stuff, you can actually use it. It makes a really useful tool for ender pearls. So what you can do is you can create yourself a little bit of a tunnel, right? Connected like this. And let's say you want to end up right here, right? So all I gotta do is use an ender pearl over here, and I end up right here, and vice versa. Ender pearl, and I end up right here. It's super cool, right? And you can actually do like deviations. You can have another set over here, and then it would like randomize where you would go. It'd be like a chance. You would either end up on this side or that side. I don't know. I thought this was pretty cool stuff, and you can actually use it to go up and down as well. So you could, I don't know if there's like a range or like a max distance or anything, but I don't know. It's something really cool that was added into Quark. So with me not really having access to the biomes, I did notice that it does seem like maybe there's an issue with my world in particular. Maybe I need to reset the Nether and also reset the End. I don't have anything in those dimensions that I should need to worry about. But I am going to ask around and see if there's reasons why I can't actually see those biomes, because I don't have those biomes in my world. Very interesting. I did look on the website or on their wiki, and there's like supposed to be a lot of different biomes in the End and in the Nether. So I'm thinking it's something to do with like when I started playing this. I don't actually know. But like I said, I'm going to ask around. But until then, we're going to get into a very interesting tech mod that is going to be very lasery. And if you've seen that little sneak peek with me looking at some of the recipes, environmental tech has really changed. We're looking at environmental tech 3. This is getting a little bit different. So the mods in themselves have significantly changed over the years. So don't get me wrong. And I think it's for the better. But as of right now, there's not a lot of documentation in game for how this works. So I'm going to hopefully be able to help you guys learn and understand how environmental tech works. First of all, though, I need to find a good space for it. I'm thinking this is probably going to be a decent space. We don't need a lot of room for it. We just need to start crafting. That's probably going to be the big part of it. Is the majority of all of this just needs to be crafted up. Let's talk about the things that we're going to need, though. First of all, we're going to need a litherite void miner, just a standard void miner. That's kind of the difference. You're going to notice there's not a botanic miner. There's not a void ore miner. There's not. You don't see that, right? That's because this is going to work a little bit differently. We're going to use a memory programmer to program a chip, and that chip is going to specify what type of miner this is. And it does look like it's interchangeable, so you may be able to use just one and let it run for a while and then swap it out. So we'll see how it goes. But if you take a look, it'll tell you everything you need. You need 4 IO blocks or frames. So that goes with frames. So really, I recommend having 2 IO blocks, so 1 for power and 1 for output of items, because that is something new. You can see we have an FE input. That's one that you're going to need, and you're also going to need an item output. Both of these are going to be made inside of a block called an assembler. Right, so it's going to require some flash memory and some volatile memory. All of this is going to require litherite crystals. Litherite is now changed, different recipe for litherite. And I think it's a better recipe because before you needed so much cactus. At least with this recipe, it's not so bad. You just need ender pearls, emeralds, and nether quartz. Makes it a little bit nicer, and you can make quite a bit of it, 8 of it here with this particular recipe, and save yourself some emerald. Now, that is just crafting litherite, right? Later on, you're going to get more resources and so on, and of course, you're going to be upgrading. But let's make some of the few blocks we need. This right here is a structure panel, and the structure panel is going to require obsidian. Keep in mind, you're going to need a lot of obsidian. Luckily, in the End, there's tons of it. So if you do need a lot of obsidian, of course, you're going to be able to have access to it. So environmental with an E. What is wrong with me? Environmental tech. I'm just going to go ahead and make, and it's an assembler. Wow, if I can speak. Assembler. Now, there's no longer a wand. You're going to notice there used to be an assembling wand. No longer is there a such thing as an assembly wand. That's because you can just right-click this thing, and it will work. So no need for that. As you can see, the CPU, you're going to require a little bit of redstone. Like a little bit of redstone work is going to be required for crafting a lot of these blocks. So when making the panels, I've already made the assembler, but when making these actual structure frames, that's when we're going to go get into the actual assembler. So I'm assuming this is going to need some power. We need litherite crystals and these redstone imbued obsidian plates. We're also going to need an assembler for this. So probably setting up some simple automation for the assembler is probably going to be good, whether that's hoppers or whatever. So I'm probably going to need a point just to simply give it some power. Hopefully I have enough of that. There we go. Perfect. So a point, and then we have our assembler. I'm hoping hoppers work for this. I'm just going to place it like right here for right now. It's a very dark block. There we go. And that has power. Now, will this do what I'm hoping it will do? Like, can we hopper it? Hoppers? Just make another hopper. Can we just simply hopper this bad boy? I'm assuming probably. That's what the hope is. Even though it does have multiple inventory slots, so we'll see. Now, redstone, the assembler is going to require the, let's see, obsidian panels from environmental tech. There we go. Yeah, so it looks like we're probably gonna need to make more because we're making these and we need that obsidian imbued. Man, I feel like I've used so much of this. Okay, so I put this in here and I surround it with redstone. That's gonna get us a few. How many does this make? One a piece. So yeah, we're gonna need a few of these, quite a few. So man, obsidian is something that is gonna be a very, very costly thing here. And we're making these litherite pieces. So we're gonna need enough of these litherites, which actually is gonna equal, I believe, 20 for the frame. So we're gonna need at least 20 of them in order to make enough frames here. And by the way, just in case you were wondering, nope, the hopper didn't work. The hopper, it did not care. I think though, what could speed this up is just a back. So sack, we can grab a rat or two and definitely pop that rat on top of this bad boy. And that should probably make it craft a little bit faster. Yeah, it's going a little bit faster, but I think multiple rats would probably do it some good. So now that all of this is crafted up, I mean, we're pretty much ready to go. All we got to do is look at these structure frames and we just need to craft it. Now, it is saying this is missing, but in reality, it's not. It's right here. So we need 20 of them, and we also need 18 regular structure panels. So really, we've got pretty much just everything we need. I also went ahead and made the laser cores. It's funny because the laser lens holder requires 2 laser cores in itself, and then at the moment, we can't make any modifiers, so all we have is the null modifiers that we can make. The reason being is because we need mica. We can't actually get mica until we actually have one of these up and running, and that actually comes from the environmental one, which is really nice because I actually like gaining other blocks, which is kind of the whole reason why I want to get this. I'm not really wanting it to mine. I want it to gather resourceful blocks like snow and any other things that it can mine. Of course, at the moment, I don't really have a good list of being able to see what it can mine, so I'm sure it's in the config somewhere, but at the moment, I don't know what it can mine. So let's take a look at some of this right here. So we have all of our materials pretty much ready to go. We just need to do a double check. The only thing we're missing is our IO blocks. So this right here, an FE input, when you look at it, you're like, oh, I can't craft that. I don't have this stuff. What is that? Well, this right here is one of the things we can do. So we are going to need at least 2 more structure panels, I do believe, because we also need an item output, which does require a structure panel, as you can see. And that's just going to require more obsidian plates. So many obsidian plates. I tell you, that's a lot of obsidian plates. I'm going to make 2 more of these, make 1 for the item output. And then this is going to require what? Redstone block, 2 iron, and another litherite. So good thing we have one that we can go ahead and make real quick. And then while we're here, we can probably go ahead and get that redstone block ready. And then also take this, and then iron while we're waiting for that. And I think we're just about ready to go. 2 iron. Yeah, I think we're looking pretty good. So this, if I can remember how this went, like this maybe? Yes. Hey, look at that. I remember the crafting recipe. Didn't even have to look it up. So that is an FE input of just regular litherite. So that technically is just about everything. Now, I'm going to go ahead and sleep, and we're going to come back. It's going to be daytime, and we're going to build this thing. By the way, I almost forgot myself, even though I told you. We're actually going to need 22, and I'm going to show you why here in a minute. But yeah, we actually need 22 of these. I totally forgot about that. There we go. The reason being is because technically it gives you enough for multiple IO slots. So you have 4 IO slots. Technically, we only need 2. So instead of using 2 more IO slots, which we don't need, we can just go ahead and use the structure frame, which works out in the same. It's going to require the same amount of structure panels regardless. Now, this right here might seem a bit odd to you, right? Because when we place down this block, it's going to seem a bit weird. Also, I still have to make this. I have yet to make it. I am going to need another laser core. Man, I should have made this earlier. Basically, just all the stuff that we should already have. And of course, 2 more structure panels, because why not? Why not? Man, I've made so many structure panels at this point. So that should be everything. Perfect. And we have our cores. Okay, we're looking good. Now, when I place this, you're going to notice it plays sideways. Like, what? Well, that's because it can actually be placed upside down as well. And that's kind of the direction that I want to place it, is upside down. I don't know if it can be placed. I mean, it can be placed like this as well, if you really want to. But the interesting part about this is I noticed it can be placed upside down, which is actually not bad. It's actually not bad to be able to be placed upside down, because normally you'd have to dig a hole down to the void. Well, if we place it upside down, it doesn't have to dig a hole to the void. You just have access to the sky, which also gives you sort of a beacon as well. And we can probably use some kind of fence underneath it to kind of make it look nice. Now, all we got to do is shift right click, so long as we have the stuff in our hand. Starting auto builder, you can see it's just now building everything. And look at that. Pretty much done. It pretty much did everything that we wanted it to, right? Built everything that we needed it to build. Now, here's the thing. Remember how I said those points, those FE inputs? Well, that's what's missing over here. So we're going to need to go ahead and fill those in ourselves. Once done, we should hopefully see a laser beam shoot out of here. Maybe that's after we go ahead and set this card up, because inside here, you can see it does require a card. So for that is where we take our memory programmer. I know, hopefully things aren't getting too complicated. This mod was a little bit different before. Let's go ahead and place it here. Can it just be power from the top? That's fine. Okay. So you see right here, all memories, and then we have the different types. Now, this is where we're going to put a programmer card from environmental tech. Let's go ahead and make another one. I've made a lot of these now, because they actually require them to get started. It's just a regular flash memory is what we need. So we need a volatile memory and then flash memory. Perfect. So inside here, we're going to select what we want it to be mining. I could do crystal. I think I'm going to go with resource miner first and put the flash memory in, and I'm going to hit it up with the resource miner. The resource miner is going to mine mica. And so the more mica we have, the better chance we're going to have for getting upgrades, and we can actually replace these as soon as we have some mica. So now that we have that, I place it in here. That should change this to the type of miner that it is, I do believe. And you can see the tick cost here. And then all we got to do is give it some power in its power input. And make sure we select the network. It's going to start pulling out that the power. How did that guy not die? Oh, that was oh wow, that was a nice guy. I took 2 shots with his sword. That was crazy. And then we have the item output. So I think maybe a chest will still work. I need to use the ender chest, but I want to use a chest to kind of see if it just auto outputs, or do we need some kind of pipe? I'm going to sit here and babysit it a little bit, but as you can see, it is working. It is definitely working. We just need to make sure that items are actually being transferred into this, or I need to do this some other way. So as you can see, I did have to set up some sort of item pipe. It is not directly importing right into this. So look at that. We're already getting purple sand. So we are going to get things from, the biomes you will go. Hopefully we will be able to get them, because like I said, there are some biomes at the moment that we just don't have access to. Look, there's orange sand. So yeah, I'm kind of excited by that. So what do you guys think about this? Let me know down in the comments, by the way, what you think about this. Now, keep in mind, this can be flipped the other way around. It also, I believe, can be flipped on its side. It can go back the normal way, but I wanted to build it upside down because I noticed that the actual mod dev himself had built it upside down. And I was like, you know what? That does save you from digging. That actually kind of makes that a little bit better there, I guess. It also acts as a little bit of a beacon. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments. What do you think about the new environmental tech? Do you guys like it? Do you like it compared to the old style of environmental tech? I don't know. I'd kind of like to hear what you guys have to say. So as always, I would like to shout out the sponsor of today's video, and that is going to go to DJ the Dentist. Yes, that is the perfect name right there. Thank you so much for being a supporter over on the Patreon. If you guys would be interested in becoming a Patreon yourself, of course, be sure to check the link down in the description below. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Of course, if you did, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also give this video a huge thumbs up. I hope you guys enjoyed. Of course, I'll see you in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.